guys, this animation that he made is not far-fetched at all. And oh crap, there we go. Hang on. Look at this thing. Look, you got the made that for promoting today's show. And I mean, Lance Castle, God bless you. Thank you for your service. A U.S. Airman. Tell me that animation, that was not far from the truth of what you experienced, correct?
That's pretty accurate. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, I tell you, I was over Christmas. I was just on Twitter, and your video, the video of you popped up. I want to play that here, and I got so many questions for you. And again, thank you for your service. Thank you for making time. I'm looking forward to unfolding the hell that you've been living for the past several years now. But this is what caught my attention on X just a couple of weeks ago when I reached out to you. You are behind that door in solitary confinement, and I've got so many questions about this. But here we go. Here come your, I guess, airman. Is that the right title for you? Am I saying that correctly?
I didn't like that rank anymore. I just like Mr. at this point, but I was a staff sergeant. I was unlawfully demoted. We'll get into all that stuff. So
yeah. All right. So Staff Sergeant Castle is behind this door, and here come his. Oh gosh, this is just painful to watch.
Yeah.
You don't talk. Yeah.
Can I just stop right there? I don't see you resisting. Am I wrong or?
No, you're right. I'm not.
Okay. You literally just let them take you down.
Yeah.
I'm going for left arm. Stop resisting! No, stop resisting!
I would like to point out you still need to breathe.
You will get tagged! You will get tagged!
Just wait.
Stop resisting or you will get tagged!
Hold on! Can you hear me? Do not move. Do not move.
You will get tased!
Whatever arms back.
Can I just ask, sir?
Yes,
do you know any of these individuals personally?
Let's see. No, not at all. Not personally.
I just didn't know if they had your buddies doing this or if it was just some rando individuals.
A text message, which I forgave, obviously. But he's the only one that apologized, and he's experiencing his own hell with the unlawful COVID vaccine as well. Gosh. So he understands it.
Yeah. And I want to play this whole thing because this goes on and on. And the video that I have here, I mean, it stops before you're off the ground. Yeah. Is your face bleeding at this point? I know at some point it starts bleeding.
Yeah, it is actually at that point. When they lift me up, you'll see a little puddle of blood right there in my face.
Give us your arm! Yes.
Are they dislocating your shoulder? I mean, we have so many questions. Just save it. I've got so many questions right now.
Stay down. Stay down.
Go for it.
Stay down.
Black glove in your hand.
To my left toe.
My peak. Left toe.
Just trying to start.
Blue lock. I'm going to block. Yeah.
Stay down.
All right, check it.
Stay down. Like he has an option, bro.
Oh.
This is madness.
Put you up to your knees.
Bring him over and come to the castle. Medic! Medic!
I hope they're proud, man.
Yeah, they honestly don't care at this point.
There you are. Is that the medic next to you?
Yeah, there were two other medics. Right there, those three. Yeah, those three were the medics. And I have all their reports on, I was complaining of shoulder pain, knee pain, I had lacerations to my face. So they make their own report on the injuries that they've noticed and treated. So I have all that as evidence as to how I got shoulder surgery months after that, stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. So Lance,
Yeah.
let's go to the beginning here. My first
Yeah.
question. Well, let me that a lot of people will comment under this and say that has nothing to do with your refusal to get the COVID vaccine. And I've done plenty of research on this, and it absolutely was about that. Correct?
Correct. Absolutely.
Okay. And I just have to ask. Your head was shaved there. Is that part of solitary confinement, or was that just your hairstyle of choice at the time?
Well, no, that was my hairstyle then and now. Yeah, keep it clean.
I did you even more. Okay, I just wanted to clarify on that. All right, so you at that point, that was what summer of 2000. Was that July 2021?
No, that's April 11th, 2023. Actually.
Holy crap!
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, this story, that video has escaped me until December of 2025. And when it came across, I mean, I was just as shocked as anyone, and I had to look into that. I was like, holy crap, this thing is real. But no, I didn't pitch the year on that. So that was 2023. All right. So at that point, you had been serving in the Air Force for how long?
17 years.
Okay. Any issues that you had along the way that they could bring up or anything until that point?
So I had one issue 16 years ago, actually, on that date. Now it's like 19 years ago, but I did have a NJP from my commander for altering a PT score for a master's sergeant that asked me to do so. And there's no reason for that. That was so long ago. I made due on that, paid my dues, extra duty, blah, blah, blah. Was never demoted from that. And it's important to state that because when we get into the mix of all this stuff, my commander will use that from 16 years ago of like, he was previously demoted. And then he'll say that I had 2 demotions, one from him and one from then. So other than that, no, clean record up to that point. And actually one of the documents that I sent you will even show that.
Okay. Which document do you want me to get ready? And then I have a question while I'm.
We can start on A. Can you find A at all? It's at the very bottom.
Let's see here. All right. It's well, I've got 5 PDFs from you. What's the title of it?
5? Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no idea if it's 5. Oh, it should be the most recent one. That's actually no subject, but it's just a link.
Okay. I'll have to check that. You just now sent it. What, 12 minutes ago?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Holy crap, man. Now I see what you're talking about. All right. A. Okay. Hang on. I'm getting A open. All right. Let me get this all zoomed in. We're all fancy high tech here. That you said it was a chief sergeant that asked you to change his PT score, his physical.
Master sergeant, and at the time, yeah.
Anything happened to that individual for asking you to falsify record?
A lot of things actually has happened since then. He at the time he denied it, and I understand why he would, obviously, whatever, because one of us has to go down. He didn't take the blame for it, and the whole point of that was so his airmen could PCS off to Germany. And I mean, like, it's not an excuse for me to say everyone did it, obviously, but back then it was really lenient. But I did it. I messed up 16 years ago.
All right.
Paid my dues, and you know what? He actually emailed me almost a year ago apologizing, which I forgave too. He knows that was wrong. We all know that was wrong. And the commander who issued me the NJP, his name's Colonel Rose, or back then he was Captain Rose. He becomes like complicit in all this too. Like, it's insane how it even happened because we were in Oklahoma back then, Tinker Air Force Base, Oklahoma, and now he'll be the group commander for Cannon Air Force Base. It's just wild how that came to be, but
so
that was only issue.
So here is what you were referring to. So this occurred at Kirtland Air Force Base, yes?
Yes, sir. Yep, and that's 2018.
All right.
So look how much further that is. Almost 10 years later.
Okay, and what is this telling us? This document here?
It's just showing like this is where we're about to start. It's just showing 2017. I had this commander. His name is Diedrich Reese. he's actually, like, if let's see, we could just read a little bit. Sergeant Castle's ability to confidently perform assigned tasks and jobs have made him stand out as one of the top NCOs in the unit. He has a history of superb Air Force fitness scores, where he takes part in competing. Like, well, it's just a lot of good things that he said about me, and I didn't even know.
It was a letter of recommendation for you, and in 2017. Okay.
You have said that if I've gotten in trouble since that point, obviously not. And again, I mentioned this because when we get into all this stuff here soon, all these commanders will start saying my background, even before coming to their squadron, I had tons of disciplinary actions, which is untrue, completely fictitious, as we'll get into more.
So that letter, that was written, that letter of recommendation was written by who is that player in this story?
A commander of a squadron. I blacked out his name in this document a long time ago when I found it. His name's Diedrich Reese, I believe. And the whole point of it is just showing that I had no issues before the COVID mandate.
Yeah. Really okay. So you're serving, what year did you go in?
2005.
2005. So 2005 until, let's just take it up to 2021. The only issue you have is changing that PT score for someone that outranked you, that made that request. Yes. And you stop me if I get any of these facts wrong, man. 2021 rolls along. The military gets the COVID-19 vaccine mandate thrown upon them.
Yeah.
And then what happens?
Yep. So we got that memo actually here. Let's see, what number is it?
You're gonna make me look for all sorts of stuff, aren't you?
I tried to be as limited as possible, but I ended up attaching 26 attachments here.
I'm seeing that now. I missed that email until right now, man. Hang on. Okay, what number are we looking for? All right. Oh, I like that. I can do this in order. Okay. All right. So this that I'm about to put on the screen here, what are we looking at, sir?
Just showing the order from my squadron commander to receive the COVID vaccine. Number 2 says mandatory vaccination will only use the COVID-19 vaccines that receive full licensure from the FDA. Obviously, no. All those weren't available. We all know that now. So this is an unlawful order, is what I'm showing. It's a highly unlawful order because
I see this here. Okay.
Yeah.
Gosh, you had to be so okay. Let me ask you this. What was your mindset of the COVID vaccine? Did you know the train obviously was coming down the tracks? Had you decided long before, I'm not putting this in my body? But actually, I want you to answer that because I want to know what your mindset was. Because I know what mine was. And mine was from the earliest moments of them even talking about developing this thing. I was like, hell no, I'm not putting this thing. I don't need this thing, first of all. Right. And I don't trust something that's been in development for 5 minutes. But I never had to make that decision. You lived it, man. So what I want to ask you is, did they ever get that into your body successfully?
Absolutely not.
All right. Okay. So a lot of people might say, hey, man, you sign up for the military. Oh my God. You are property of the federal government until you get your discharge papers. What's your response to that?
Yeah, my response would be, where's the line in the sand for that? For instance, if a commander orders you to go to his house and clean up his bathroom and his cars on the weekend, does that mean you have to do that as well? The answer is absolutely not. That's an unlawful order. So if we can get the viewers to agree to that's an unlawful order, or if they don't think that's an unlawful order, and we could bump it up, we could be like, shoot your dog in the head or something completely ridiculous, right? That's an unlawful order. So if they can agree to that, no, that sounds like unlawful for my commander to order me to shoot my dog in the head. Okay, not every order is freaking lawful. Obviously.
And let's look at it this way, I guess. When you signed up, you knew the list of vaccines that you had to agree to. When you signed up, you knew going in that was what was going to be expected of you, correct? Correct. This one, however, developed, along the way. And it was an emergency use authorization. And so it's got different rules that it plays by. But again, being in the military, I don't know. And I'm so grateful, though, to see those that stood against this, that have been welcomed back into the fold, but that has not been the case across the board, correct?
Correct. Absolutely.
Have you severed, like, what is your relationship with the U.S. Air Force at this point? Like, what?
Oh, yeah.
And I don't want you to have to skip ahead. I want you to tell the story, but pick it up there. You get this letter, and then what happens?
The fact that you mentioned that, I always forget to say my disclaimer, so let me hit it real fast. These are my views alone, and not the views of the United States Air Force or the Department of War at this point. There you go. Everything's my opinion, okay? And I'm still active duty.
That's what I wanted to. Okay,
Yeah,
interesting. Yeah. Okay. So, you get this letter. What's your reaction? What do you take this to your commanding officer? What happens here?
Yeah, well, to answer your questions also, so we had Kamala Harris constantly saying all over the news media that if Trump was the one who mandated it, she would never get it. So that already contradicts them mandating it. And then also, Biden at the time he wasn't really coherent too. So that was also one of my factors that I took into consideration. But to answer your question, when I got that, I denied it. I did a religious exemption, which is the lawful way of how to do a religious accommodation exemption.
That was going to be my next question.
Yeah, and it was submitted and it was denied. It was blanket denials across the Air Force. From that point on, though, my commander was able to come at me because I was the last one in the squadron standing. We had 12 people total that weren't, or at least stated that they weren't going to take it, and then they all trickled down. Like, okay, I'll get it once the punishment started happening.
Yeah.
So
punishments that your fellow guys were suffering. Do you know?
If we could pull up number 2 real fast, this is just to show that the new Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, actually has called it unlawful as implemented.
That's helpful. That's got to be a helpful document to have, right?
Absolutely, because it shows that the current administration has opinions of it. Well, actually, factual now.
April 23rd, 2025. This was issued. Go ahead. Tell us about this thing here.
Yeah. Service members adversely impacted by the COVID-19 vaccine mandate is what this whole memorandum is about. It's about him and Trump pretty much on their appropriate remedies for service members who suffered a wide variety of other career setbacks resulting from their principled refusal, to take the COVID-19. So at least our administration now is highly against it.
Yeah. So, sorry, February 6th is when this thing was dated. And this is where they're gonna, the review board, right, is supposed to take up.
Yeah.
Can I ask you this? Were you surprised? I forget the number as I sit here, but I was personally surprised when I heard of how few of individuals across all branches of the military refused this shot. I would have thought it would have been a lot more. Do you know the number off the top of your head? I feel like it was just a couple of hundred, maybe.
Well, I know the percentage, and I think the percentage was 98% across the entire military were vaccinated with one or more vaccines, mRNA vaccines. So that's pretty sad. Yeah. That's
okay.
Disheartening.
So it had to feel okay. So before we skip too far ahead to 2025, you in 2021 you got that original letter that we showed, and so what was your life like between 2021 and when we saw that that video of you, I guess in the brig? I don't know. What was going on over those 2 years for you, man?
It was a slow snowball effect until after that whole confinement video. Then it started picking up faster, but everything just starts snowballing to the massive snowball that it is now. They moved me squadrons because I now find out that so these commanders, they have to have a certain percentage on how many people got vaccinated throughout the squadron. If a commander can report back, my squadron is 100% vaccinated, how much better does that look than another squadron commander on that base that states his is 98% or 99%, Wow. And that affects promotion. And these officers, man, they want that next rank badly. This is like their, oh gosh, I can't even tell you how bad they'll do anything for that next rank.
I love how you in your career got a request from a senior officer asking you to change a PT score, but did anyone at any time come to you and say, "Hey, I want you to sign this paperwork that says you took the vaccine, even though I know you didn't, just to help my numbers," or nothing that ever happened?
Oh, no, absolutely not.
Okay. Okay. So, all right. How long had you been in that brig? Just uh,
That brig was 66 days.
oh my gosh. Okay.
If we could show document number 8, you're gonna love this one. This is insane.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hang on.
you're gonna love this one.
All right. Let me see here. Hang on a second here.
Yeah.
Having to continually reopen this. I'm sorry it's taken so long here.
You're good. Yes,
Each
the
file here.
last podcast I did, it was called the Savon Show or something. I
Okay.
showed no documents. I just said everything, and his viewer base were like destroying me, assuming I'm
Oh,
over
no.
exaggerating, I'm lying, I'm being hyperbolic.
I see.
Now I'm
You're like,
okay,
I got to bring the receipts from now on.
absolutely, yeah.
Okay,
So
I got
yeah,
it. All right. So this is this says Friday, January 6th, 2023. So exactly
yeah.
ago. Commander's endorsement, COVID vaccine, religious accommodation request. Okay, do you want me to read this? It's pretty short.
Yeah, go for it, please.
Here's the process for the religious accommodation. Okay, so they're responding to your request to get a religious exemption on this, right?
No, I was accidentally BCC'd in this from my first sergeant.
Okay,
Yeah.
so all right, so set this up then. Who sent this? Who were they sending it to? And yet it was accidentally copied to you. Tell us who this is.
Yeah, his name's Tech Sergeant Isaac Crispin at the time. He accidentally CC'd or BCC'd me. And this was supposed to be for the first sergeants across the base wide. And somehow I got into it because all the emails between him and I got lucky that he actually did this. But here,
do you think he did this on purpose or he was not a friend?
No way.
Okay. So here's what it says there. And thank you for setting that up here. Sir, here's the process. Again, not intended for you. Here's the process for the religious accommodation. I'm also including the vaccination order. Pay attention to paragraph 3, where it says, quote, with full licensure approval from the FDA. That is the part of the letter that the United States Air Force messed up. As it refers to FDA approved Carminati, I don't know that word. I'm sorry. And some very
commodity.
Oh, commodity. Okay. And some very specific lot numbers of the Pfizer that have never been available at Canon. That's curious. I recommend changing the verbiage to quote with approval from the FDA. Please tell me this individual got reprimanded for saying we should. Of course, Keith. Why would you?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Zero accountability across.
And it says that way it covers, this is what I was referring to earlier, the emergency use authorization vaccines as well. In other words, it didn't give approval to emergency use authorization vaccines. He's saying you should just go in and change that. And that was my question earlier from the onset is I don't know how this applies to the military. I think there was a time over the past 5 years of hell that I did know that and I have just forgotten. But here he is admitting that no, we can't allow an emergency use vaccine to be covered under this. So just go in and change that verbiage. Holy crap, that's a smoking gun, bro.
It is, right? I have and the smoking guns that I have up to today, my gosh, man, like it's so frustrating that I don't know what to do. Right? I just keep at it, sending ID complaints.
And
I have to come on air.
Yes, and I want you to tell your story because I can't imagine being in your shoes. I'll just say that. And I can't imagine being in the shoes of whistleblowers like Steve Friend, former FBI agent who is often a guest on this program. You guys, you do the right thing or you stand up for what's right, and you stand up for yourself. And clearly you're standing up with the law here and with what they have in front of them, which is the contradiction here and saying, go and change, go scratch out and fix this religious accommodation thing so that it suits our needs. And yet nothing ever happens to the people that are on the wrong side of this. And it doesn't ever seem, and I hope it's different in your case, sir, it never seems that justice is done or that anyone is ever made whole. Okay, so we're now in early January of 2023. You see this. Yeah. What did you take? What did you do with this information? Because I surmised that in the 18 months or so between you denying wanting to get the shot to here in early January, what's going on with your life in the Air Force?
Yeah, so like you said, I thought this was a smoking gun, but like just I've learned that there is so much corruption all the way to the top. And I'm not saying to our administration currently, but
I
up to the point to the AFSOC command, like it just keeps going up and up and up. And we don't have one person to just stand up and like join the ranks of accountability because they're gonna be punished for it and they don't want their retirement touched or they don't want any backlash. There's a lot of people that don't want confrontation.
Yeah.
My gosh, man, it's just a
And you would
sycophant.
think, if anywhere, the military, you would hope.
Man, that's bad.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you would think that maybe there's some integrity here, but yeah. Okay.
Right.
So what is happening then between
Yeah.
2021, 2022, leading up to what you thought there was a smoking gun? Yes, I've got this in my possession. How great is this? What had been going on? Had your buddies, I mean, were they giving you the cold shoulder? Were you getting crappy assignments? What was happening, man?
Buddies, well, no, I had no one almost that did not accept the COVID vaccine, so it was almost me by myself here, you know.
Yeah. But did
with
they not understand your point of view at all, or did they just become absorbed into the Borg?
absorbed. Like I'm telling you, so few of us that
It's like a cult,
how
even in the military, huh?
right. And oh man, I don't want to like destroy the military, the members in it that I've met, but man, I'll just say there's tons of cowards. There's tons of cowards in the military, especially in the Air Force. And there's only a select few that are actually courageous, bold. Uh, there you go. I said it right there. Like, and a lot of people probably think that the military is nothing but bold, courageous warriors, but no, absolutely not. No, not in my opinion, at least. And I did say
Okay.
opinion, just in case you want to try and charge me with that.
Okay, so then what happens, man?
Yeah, so my letter or my religious accommodation exemption is finally denied, which is B.
And what's the date on that? Do you remember off the top of your head?
Yeah, I'll pull it up with you. It is March 3rd, 2022, and B is all the way at the bottom. And this is denied by the Surgeon General Robert Miller, and it was wrong. Like, especially looking at it back today, it says, in light of your circumstances, your present duty assignment requires intermittent to frequent contact with others and not fully achievable via telework or with adequate distancing. In addition, your duties require in-person customer contact. Like, this was a blanket denial again. It says the same thing all over the place to so many people. And this guy
Your
denied
status as the supervisor was also taken into consideration. While some of these duties may be completed remotely, institutionalizing remote completion of these duties permanently would be detrimental to readiness, good order, and discipline, and unit cohesion.
They want
so
number
listen, I'm just scrolling through this here. March 3rd, 2022. Wow. So, and when was that order originally? When did that come down?
It was mid-August of 2021.
So we're about 7 months in here. All right.
Yeah,
now your religious accommodation has been denied. Your appeal has been denied. And we're only March of 2022. Is that right?
Yeah. So number 3 and number 4 now, my commanders now has free reigns to, come for me. Let's see, actually, number 3, it says
Is that the Secretary of Defense order?
I think that word is messed up now. But there's an LOR from my commander. I'll just state that. There's an LOR from my commander. It looks like number 4, COVID LOR. Okay. Yeah.
All righty.
Sorry about that. Then my commander, no.
We're just in April of 2022. So
yeah.
This train ride is just getting out of the station still.
Yeah. And what he says is just great.
Letter of reprimand. That sucks, man.
Yeah. Yeah. This is bad.
Want me to read the highlighted portion here?
Yeah. Yeah. That'd be great.
Okay. I just want to point out here. That's you gotta have a feeling in the pit of your stomach there.
Yeah.
When you see letter of reprimand, that's a subject. And I wanna point this out here. Number 2, they bold fonted and they put an exclamation mark. You are hereby reprimanded. Okay, so here's what it says. The highlighted portion. The military cannot function when its members pick and choose what order they will follow. Rather than comply with the order to receive your first dose of the COVID-19 vaccine, You chose not to receive the vaccine despite being provided ample opportunity to do so. Your choice to not follow this order poses a threat to unit readiness. Further refusal to become fully vaccinated against COVID-19 will not be tolerated and may result in more severe administrative action or disciplinary action under the Uniform Code of Military Justice. Dear Lord. And then you've got this, what's your thoughts on this, man? Oops, sorry.
I wrote a rebuttal. He denied my rebuttal, but now we see how wrong this was. After this, we go to number 5, of which he now recommends me discharged from the Air Force. At this point, I was like, good riddance, man.
I was about to say, if you got that, now that being said, you went in 2005. That's when you went in.
Yeah.
17 years now, you've got to be thinking, what kind of retirement am I, right?
Yeah.
Because I assume that they would sever any opportunity to collect that, right?
The answer would have been no retirement, actually.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And, yeah, 0 retirement. I was so
Zero
close.
retirement. Okay, yeah, okay. So the highlighted portion, it's about. Okay, go ahead.
The paragraph above it, I didn't highlight that, but number 1, just that first sentence, you'll love that.
Okay. You want to read that? I am so who's writing this again?
Commander Vasquez, Enrique Vasquez, now retired, but like oh my gosh, 2026, like this is when I start to come for them legally, and justifiably and nicely or whatever.
This says, I am recommending your discharge from the United States Air Force for misconduct. How kind of them to say minor disciplinary infractions. Yeah. And then this is the authority for this, the code and all that stuff, general discharge. Let's see. This action could result in your separation with under honorable conditions. So were they still offering you an honorable discharge at this point, or? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Instead of saying dishonorable, they have to be convoluted.
Exactly. And then it says, I am recommending that you receive a general discharge in paragraph 1, second sentence from the bottom. So a general's not good.
Not good.
Especially after 17 years of honorable service.
Understood. Yeah. Okay. Well, so now it's getting it's getting real for you. And where in the timeline? This is
I think that's June
of 2022.
Yeah. So we can see the snowball. This is, if I just start talking about a cell extraction, especially all those comments that people were saying, like, there's no way it involves the COVID.
Right.
This is so mandatory for me to even just try and say.
Are you at this point in your story, are you thinking, holy crap, I am still 2.5 years, like, were you thinking like this? I'm still at a minimum of 2.5 years away from any kind of salvation coming in the form of another president, another administration. I can't hold out this long. I mean, what's going on in your brain during this time, summer of 2022?
Exactly correct. All these first sergeants and commanders, they're like, he only has 2 years left. That's like a long time under a hostile work environment with unlawful order.
Hold on. Were they talking about Joe Biden?
No.
Well, okay. When you said they've only got 2 years left, I'm sorry. They were referring to you.
Yeah, referring to myself. Yeah.
But you had 2 years left on your commitment. Is that right? Okay.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Okay.
And from this point forward, like, oh man, I love that. I love the fact that you think these are so critical right now. Just your reaction on the ones that we're seeing. Wow, I love your reaction, because these are nothing compared to what's going to start happening. Holy crap.
Okay, where are we going next here? What number?
All right, let's see here. So now I've been transferred. Okay, so now I'm pending discharge, right? I'm waiting for my discharge to happen. This is June, and my discharge board is for October of 2022. So I'm going up against the board for them to determine my discharge type. My commander over here is recommending me general, so more than likely they're gonna side with him, a commander. So luckily enough, the month prior, the COVID vaccine gets frozen from the Supreme Court. So now I'm in complete limbo. I'm like, okay, well, damn, like, I'm really looking forward to get out now, but now it's frozen. And it doesn't get lifted until January.
Hold on, help me remember the timeline here. Frozen for the military, or for what? I forget what the rule is.
Yeah, the mandate was frozen for the military.
Basically saying people that denied it, hold the phone, we're gonna what? Let it work itself out.
Hold discharge, hold discharges, hold discharge boards, hold paperwork.
Okay.
Pause. And it took them till January of 2023 to actually remove the mandate, to officially declare that that mandate is an overreach of broad discretion of authority. So yeah, so we were in the.
So what was life like for you from say summer of 2022 until early 2023? Were they still isolating you or what?
Absolutely, yeah. So I was burning leave. I had enough leave at the time, and my ADC at the time told me if I don't use my leave and I went to the discharge board, this was before it was frozen, there's a chance I could lose all my leave if they discharge me. I can't go back and use my leave, and I can't go back and sell it. So I was like, well, dang. I ended up using all my leave. So there was that. And I ran out of leave around November of 2022. We're still in that time frame. And then I got a new supervisor, Master Sergeant Carey, who become highly complicit to come. And then this is where we're at. Now, December 2022, he issues me a petty LOC and an LOR on the same day. And that petty LOC is for missing his work suspense that he gave me 12 minutes to do. And again, the fact that I'm active duty right now. Yeah, there we go. There's the LOR. The fact that I'm active duty right now, and I guess possible someone in my command's watching, or at least the legal team, because they're aware of this. I need to make sure everything I'm saying I can prove. I can't be talking about anything fictitious, because if I do, they can get me doing that. So yeah. So anyway, I get
a letter of reprimand, huh?
Yeah. So he wrote me an LOR, passed an LOC for calling him silly in a text message. We had a friendly relationship anyway throughout our, him being my supervisor. Like, we'd ask, you want to go to the gym? And what's up, bro? How's your day? Blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? So like, he just writes me a random LOR like that. Like, he completely flips the switch. And there's a lot in there, but I just highlighted see you silly to show you that, because that becomes extremely important. And then an LOC the same day too, it was for missing his work suspense that he gave me 12 minutes to do that I didn't complete in 12 minutes, because who can complete a work suspense in 12 minutes? That takes longer than 12 minutes. Anyway, yeah. So we got petty disciplinary actions now in December of 2022. And again, so this LOR that we're looking at right here, this is going to become big because they removed this document for the court martial in 2023.
What does that mean? They removed it so that what? The judges couldn't see it?
Exactly. Tampering with evidence. And I have a Secretary of the Air Force.
There you go. Another one of these right here. You are hereby that's a typo. You are hereby reprimand.
Yeah, but what it says too, it's so sanctimonious and hypocritical. Like, look at that. An NCO is charged to be. You
want to read this?
No, it's gonna make me vomit if you read that. But they're all hypocritical like that, because we'll see that they all lack integrity themselves, zero honor. But they're telling me I lack honor and integrity and all this crap, man.
I'm sure I get hung up on this stuff, but you are hereby reprimand. So it should say reprimanded. And then down here, I can't highlight it because it's a PDF file, but right in here, it says, your actions on the day in questions do not demonstrate such a professional, meticulously crafted document here for the. I can see why they would leave this out of the evidence. Okay, so they're tampering with evidence. What's next here in the old timeline, sir?
4/7 is now January 2023. We've now made it to January of 2023, and I can't even test for the next rank, which is Tech Sergeant E6, of which I would have made. And in that document, it's great what they say, because this is about 2 weeks before the COVID mandate becomes lifted.
And you have no idea this is coming? Were you monitoring Supreme Court news like a hawk?
No, not like a hawk. But especially the fact that it was in September that it was frozen. So October, November, December. This is 4 months later. Like, I don't know. How long do they need? They needed 4 months?
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. And number 2. Yeah. And it says in number 2, the specific reason for this action is due to the member having multiple admin actions in his PIF from 2022, as well as getting 2 more LORs. This is all the COVID stuff they're referring to, another petty and other petty LLCs that I can easily counter. But again, the fact that this was 2 weeks prior to the official mandate, like they should have thrown this out. They don't throw it out. They leave it in my PIF. They hold their stance on it. Like, golly, man, it's just crazy how all the evidence we have to this day.
Yeah, I wanna pause for just a second because I
Yeah.
see a comment here. Do you think this was intentional, Jeffy apologist? I personally believe they gave bad batches to certain bases. Oh my gosh! I mean, and then she says that people that she knows got their shots provided by the military all had severe things happen to their health shortly after. Little sidetrack here, but anecdotally, Lance, did you do you have people that you know in the military that had mysterious, things happen to their health after getting the shot?
Absolutely. Not even anecdotally, factually, his name's Jet Forgy. I was his supervisor. He got that COVID vaccine. I told him not to, but he got it. Until this day, he's now experiencing significant heart conditions, and he's only like 23, 24. And it hit him hard too, myocarditis and all that. So yeah, that comment was on point. I can't say for certain all
Sure.
some bases were, given.
Did he ever come to you and go, "Damn, bro, you were right"?
Well, absolutely. Yeah. We still communicate to this day. He's out of the Air Force now, medically discharged. So like they completely screwed him over.
Okay.
Right.
I would love
Okay.
to know the percentage of people in the military alone that were affected, just to kind of compare that rate to the general population and what's on VAERS. Should we go to document 8 here?
Let's see. Document 8. Oh no, that was a accidental first sergeant email that I received. So we can now go to number 9. And this one, this is now the snowball where it's gonna get insane at this point.
Wait, it's not already insane?
No, absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
This
So
is beautiful. Yeah, this is a beautiful document because they recently removed this from my PIF like 4 months ago.
a lot of people
And
keep messing with your file, man.
I know. Thank you. And they're not supposed to. It's only supposed to be one person in charge of it. And there's a lot of
So this is they're referencing the January 15th, 2023 incident. It's February 7th, 2023 that this was written up. And what are we looking at here? Incident days.
Yeah.
Do you want me to read
Right.
any of this?
Yeah, you see where it says COVID vaccine, the underline?
Okay. Yeah.
Let's just go up 3 sentences where it starts at "and," just to be concise here.
Okay. Where am I at? And let's see. Is it you mean he told? I don't see the capital "and."
Yeah,
All right.
capital. All right. Yeah.
Okay. I'll just start here. Is this a good spot? He has been vocally disparaging of every level of leadership within the LRS, Air Force, and U.S. government at large. He has told other airmen that they are going to hell, and the supervisor from his previous work center believes he may be an insider threat and that he has been potentially radicalized by an anti-U.S. government group in the wake of his refusal to take the COVID vaccine. Do you want me to keep reading?
Yeah. Actually, yeah.
Okay, I have instructed the in-flight personnel not to meet with him one-on-one, to avoid all interactions with him, and under no circumstances to go to his home. I believe Staff Sergeant Castle exhibits almost every indicator of an insider threat and should not have access to any sensitive materials or areas until after this pending actions are resolved. Again, more typos. No, anyway, so all right. Are you what they say? You're a threat.
There's a lot to unpack here. A lot.
Were you radicalized there, Lance?
Absolutely not.
Because you wanted your bodily autonomy? I mean, that qualifies you for
like egregious and arbitrary completely. But the fact that they said I'm telling other airmen they're going to hell, I was literally talking to the guy I just mentioned for you about what the Bible says about hell. And that's when I became a Christian. Around that time, I was reading my Bible a lot. And he was actually asking me questions about that stuff. So the fact that some supervisor walked by and heard me talking about hell and just throws that in there as if I'm telling everybody, like he says, he has told other airmen that oh my gosh, like
out of context, that sounds ridiculous. I could say damning. That might fit. No, but so you're basically witnessing to someone there, and they're taking that and putting it into this report to make it sound like it's something that it's completely not, huh?
Yeah, and that's not even anything yet. And then it says the supervisor from his previous work center believes he may be an insider threat. Yeah, we read that. Okay, and it says in the wake of his refusal to take the COVID vaccine, which is a cause and effect, they're blaming my refusal to receive the COVID vaccine is the reason why I'm declared an insider threat now and potentially radicalized by an anti-U.S. government group. So why this is so important, because they're going to now remove in the wake of his refusal to take the COVID vaccine. Like, they start to try to be all meticulous, and there's so many hands in the pot, they become careless. So that needs to be mentioned. And then the fact that it says that under it, I have instructed all in-flight personnel not to meet with him, to avoid all interactions with him, and under no circumstances. That's called ostracism, segregation. That is that's harassment. That's a crime. And I didn't even know this yet. Like January 15th, I didn't know this until I got the document.
Criminal conduct, I'd like to point out, is
I am now in a hostile work environment due to this. So at this time, though, I did notice people not talking to me. Like, I said, "Hey, how are you? Good morning." Like, legit ignoring me. I was like, "What the heck?" And I didn't know this document existed at that time also.
Okay, so I'm going to
yeah.
ask you, you're in the U.S. Air Force. Are you, at this time, are you meeting with, quote, anti-government groups? Are you fraternizing with people who hate the U.S. government? I mean, what do they have anything that they could say? Oh, Your Honor, look, here he is going into such and such meeting. No,
Absolutely nothing. And we're going to get into that court martial too, where no, absolutely not. OSI investigates me, actually, and it comes back with 0 findings. So that's also extremely significant. The document under it, I don't know, I'll just go through it quick. They remove the ostracism stuff. They're like, "Oh crap, we probably shouldn't have mentioned that." And then the third document, they start to remove all these other things. And then the final 4th document, which is the one I received, they removed all the reasonings of why they declare him an insider threat. COVID is now out of that 4-chain document that you just pulled
I'm
up.
glad you said that. So it sounds like they're realizing, holy crap, dude was totally right about the COVID vaccine, and his stance against it. We need something else to stick.
Bingo. All right. Yeah. And since we're on that, now we're going to start getting into serious stuff here.
Oh boy.
So, all right, here we go. Number 12, number 13. This is where, oh my gosh, these are still big to this day.
Okay, number 12. Let me get that up here on the screen. All right. And what are we looking at here? Department of the Air Force. This is a memorandum dated April 3rd, 2023. Subject is safety concerns with, is that Senior Airman Castle?
Yeah. I'm now demoted. I need to mention that. I had NJP in
February. Okay.
Yeah, I had NJP due to I was going to the chaplain at this time. I was like, I know these guys are after me, and I had the approval of my supervisor, Sergeant Carey. He's like, "Yeah, go ahead, check your email there, do what you need to there." So they wrote me up for not coming to work since I was staying over there at the chaplain. It was almost like a setup, in my opinion.
You had no friends, quite frankly. You had been by design ostracized and put on the outs, which if they want to talk about company or they want to talk about readiness, hell, I don't know. The fact that you guys are isolating a member of your team seems not helpful. So was the chaplain, I mean, did you get any kind of sympathetic ear over there?
He was the only one who was actually empathetic, yeah. So he approved my religious accommodation exemption. But even though he approved it, my commander denied it, and he only made it on the stand too. Like, he just did not care. Complete authoritarianism, tyranny, dictatorship, leadership. So this document, though, oh wow, okay, yeah, this one's big. I'll just read number 1. Concerning the issue with Castle, there have been concerns amongst the NCOs that have been involved with the situation. There are clear indicators to which we are trained on to look at for a potential active shooter.
Oh, God.
Yeah, thank you for that reaction. That's what I wanted right there. So now I'm freaking, like you said, all the COVID stuff I was right on. They need new stuff. So this is how I'm about to be arrested. You know, this is why they're building a little paper trail that I'm an active shooter now. So yeah, it's like egregious, right?
I mean, again, every time you get one of these documents or experience one of these situations, I mean, your heart has to sink. Are you regretting signing up for the Air Force at this point? Are you you must be reliving the last 2 decades of your life, thinking, "What the hell have I done?"
Yeah.
And I'm sorry you were put in that position. I mean, this is madness, man.
Yeah, accountability will come eventually, and till this day, like today, the fact that we're in 2023 and now it's 2026, it's still ongoing. I'm waiting my appeals and all that stuff.
Okay, so
Oh no,
you're an active shooter,
yeah.
according to that letter. Are we going to document 13 now? You said.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah.
Another
Sorry,
memorandum here. I'm just looking for a date on this. About the same time, is that right?
Yeah, yeah. This was April 3. The other one was April 4.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, sorry. So vice versa. The other one's April 4. This is April 3. So they set this one up first. They set this one up, and you're gonna love this one too.
Okay, so this precedes them labeling you as a potential active shooter. This says there has been an increased safety concern. So they're setting the stage. There's been an increased safety concern for engaging with Senior Airman Castle. Again, the demotion. What's T Sergeant? What's that stand for? Tech Sergeant. Tech Sergeant Cleveland. Tech Sergeant Cleveland, am worried for my work centers and my family's safety. The longer the situation goes on and we engage in text messages, emails, or other communication has led to a potential target on myself or the people around me. I want the record to show I'm addressing my potential endangerment concern for the people around me, both family and coworkers. It has been stated that there is a concern about Senior Airman Castle collecting names and targeting members who are in communication with leadership or who have crossed him. Are you collecting names and making a list, a vendetta list?
Right. No, absolutely not. So I don't even know how that was able to happen. I think she got told by my supervisor, Sergeant Carey at the time, to do that. And she never testified. I don't know why she never testified to this day, but it's not over. I have a new appeal attorney. He can actually interview her and ask her, how did she come to that consensus or whatnot? So yeah.
Good Lord. Oh man.
Right. So the fact that you're already not burnt out on it, but like you can already see what's happening here. And we're having first court. I've been through 2 court martials already.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So we go to 15 next.
Let's see. Yeah, 15. Okay. So now I guess I could set the stage up about the arrest. So now I'm arrested.
You go however you want to. So you got arrested when?
April 10th, 2023.
So now they're wasting no time. They're not. This thing isn't getting dragged out anymore. Now the wheels of justice, if you will, are moving quickly. It sounds like. Okay, we're going to 15. All right, Vicky Marcus.
Yeah. So 15 is my entry of judgment from the entire trial, and it shows all the charges that I definitely would love to explain. At least take 10 minutes to explain. Okay, we just go charge 1 real fast. If you can scroll down.
Okay, charge 1. There it is.
Okay, I'm charged with desertion. So all of that we just talked about led to these charges. So yeah, I'm now charged with desertion. My plea was not guilty to the right, and then the findings of the judge was not guilty, pursuant to rules for Court Martial 917, which is no evidence.
But you were told to take leave.
So I was on leave, actually. The date says March 1 to 10 April. I was on leave from 1 March to 12 March, first of all. But they wanted to fit the past 30 days of AWOL as desertion. Like you can't be charged with desertion if you're not more than 30 days absent. So they just think that they could do that. It's mind-boggling. Okay, so obviously I was not guilty. That's charge 1. Charge 2 below, if you can scroll, please, is okay, now this one is beautiful. Okay, so this one is disrespect to my commander, Vasquez, of who we've been talking about. He charges me with repeatedly interrupting him and calling him a domestic threat. And this is on February 6th is when he charged me with this. February 6th is when I had my Article 15 commander's appearance with him. But he had zero idea I was recording the entire freaking audio, the whole conversation. And thank goodness I did, because Crispin was in that room. Yeah, thank you. Crispin was in that room, and another first sergeant. Her name's Alexa Serrano.
Let me ask you a quick question. I know that in many states, it is legal to record a conversation if at least one of the parties is aware of that. So my question to you is, do the laws of the state apply to the air base where you're located, or are there different rules in the military? Any idea there?
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah, the laws of the state apply. So it's a one-party consent state in New Mexico, unless the commander specifically releases an order of no one not being able to record. Then it supersedes. Yeah. But like this never got brought up ever to this day in court that I unlawfully recorded or anything. So I'm in the clear completely. And the fact that it shows, so this audio shows I don't call him a domestic threat. So these are one of the most fictitious, egregious allegations ever. Like this is insane that they didn't even think, what if he was recording this? Like oh my gosh, they're that arrogant.
Could they say that? And I'm just pretending I'm Vasquez's attorney. Could he say, "Oh, well, it wasn't in that specific meeting; it was in the hallway or something"? Yeah,
absolutely. But my lawyer, civilian defense lawyer, he had Vasquez authenticate it when they played it in court, and Vasquez admitted that was February 6th on that occurrence. So I mean, he could have lied. They do lie a lot on the stand, but he could have lied about that. Maybe he didn't think about that. But just to show right now where we're at, they're charging me with fictitious allegations. That, oh my gosh, like if I didn't record that, there's 2 first sergeants in the room and a commander versus me, now a demoted staff sergeant. Who's going to win that in the credibility sense? Them.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. And when the audio was played, the judge talked about it. She's like, he didn't even interrupt him or call him a domestic threat. So she dropped that charge on day 1, actually. But now she sees what's happening. Oh man, I love that judge. And this is why I thought court martials, you can't be touched in court martials because there's justice and all that stuff. But my second trial, when we get into that, oh my gosh, that was one of the most corrupt trials ever, and that I'm still trying to seek accountability on, completely different from the first one. So what do you think of that real quick though, that he thought he could charge me with fictitious charge like that?
Yeah. I'm so glad you were recording. My gosh, how many charges are on this document? 5? 7? Okay. Anything else that you want to go over here?
Yeah.
See. Okay.
Or the disrespect to Kerry, they already charged me with that with the NJP, which is why I got demoted for calling him silly and not standing in parade rest when he gave me an LOC, of which I did stand in parade. So the judge calls him out on that, which I have audio of too. The next one, the assault, they blame one of the cops' knees dislocating on me. They literally wrote, I'm being charged with assault.
Remind me of the date of the video we started the show with.
11th, April 11th.
Okay, so this is April 10th, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. Around April 10th, 2023, assault of senior airman Diedrich D. Kelly, who is accused having the execution. Okay, so what are they alleging here? That you struck him in the leg while he was trying to arrest you, or?
Wait, so I was put into a restraint chair when I was brought to confinement. And they were trying to take all my clothes off for a strip search, inspection to see if I have any contraband in orifices, if you know what I mean.
I do. And so do they manhandle you, or do they let you disrobe on your own?
They manhandled me. I don't consent to it, but they don't care. 7 guys throw me in a chair. This is before that video. This one's not recorded, actually. So this is the day before that. And so this guy, Kelly, his knee dislocates, but that's because he has an injury of his knee always dislocating from a prior injury, like it pops out and then he has to have it popped in. So it popped out of him trying to untie my shoe, and he testifies to all this. And the fact that I was charged with, so it was first dislocating his knee, then they changed it to striking his leg, first of all, which is why they kept me held in 66 days of pretrial confinement for the first.
This is what got you put in the brig.
No, I was already put in the brig. This was when I arrived too. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, what put me in the brig was the active shooter, the insider threat, the target member, which was all from the vaccine. Like they're just making stuff up at this point. And that was actual self-protection. Yeah. That was a self-protection. When I couldn't breathe, I punched back. It shows in the video. I punched back and I popped him in the nose. Instant reaction, asphyxiation. And then they charged me with punching him in the nose, which was originally breaking his nose, but they changed it to punching him in the nose due to it not breaking, actually. A deviated septum or whatever. But Yeah, go ahead.
And are you saying you did or did not punch anyone in the nose?
Absolutely punched him in the nose because I couldn't breathe, but it was self-defense because I couldn't freaking breathe,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got these 7 charges here. Do we need anything else on this document, or are we go into another one here?
No, we're good.
Good
Yeah,
Lord.
I have an audio here that I have pulled up.
On your end there?
Yeah, mine.
All right.
This is to show your viewer base. This is my my commander here, and we can see just hear his tone, hear everything. So let's see here.
What's the setting for this audio you're about to play?
Yeah, this is the court martial of the judge asking him questions specifically. Why did he schedule me a TTM before my arrest? Did you think TTM was needed? Obviously, he has to say yes to that, because if he said no and he's scheduling TTMs, which are team treatment meetings, that would be abuse of authority. And then she asks him, if you thought the TTM to be necessary, why didn't you have him be brought to his mental health meeting instead of to the confinement center? And he literally answers, he thought it was a done deal. His reason that he didn't bring me to my team treatment meeting that he scheduled for me in advance was because he thought it was a done deal. Like, retarded answers like that. Yeah. Oh my God.
Okay, so this is audio from the court martial.
Yes, sir. Okay, timestamp is super. Well, before I even say that though, also they announced on the stand that they changed my supervisor, Sergeant Carey. They changed my supervisor and all the stuff when it was revealed that they actually didn't. So they're lying under oath, which is perjury. Like, these are the charges that these are the allegations, that I still need to file on them. But in order for me to do so, the IG department needs to declare like it's authentic, or, oh my gosh. But they're in on it too. Like, they're all just protecting everybody. It's freaking ridiculous. Yeah. All right, here we go. We can just play this one. Tell me if you can hear it, please.
You see an airman who is exhibiting irrational behavior, and that's what your mental health is into. And then he tells you that he has irritability. He tells you he has PTSD, and he tells you he has major depression. Whether you believe him or not, you see something that's not right. That's the irrational behavior. And then he tells you that there might be an explanation for it. Did you talk, and you didn't talk to JA when mental health told you that you shouldn't do a CDE?
I did talk to legal, but I don't think I did on that topic. I can't remember this time.
Okay. And as his behavior continued to be irrational, continued to escalate, you didn't go back.
So they didn't even discuss that.
Yeah, oh, here's that part I just made.
You believed that what was necessary, that everybody in the same room so you could
You
talk
put
to
that
him.
up, bring that up a little bit.
And I think that you said you invited security forces and OSI to that because you had concerns about safety.
Yes.
Based on confrontational issues.
That was one of the topics, yes.
Okay. But you believed that it was important to have the treatment team meeting.
Yes.
When security forces notified you that they picked him up at the gate, why didn't you ask them to deliver him to the treatment team meeting if you believed that was necessary?
Yes, I thought it was just a done deal. He's arrested. Just once that happened, I didn't make any more decisions after that.
So when you return to the base, is that the voice of the judge that we're hearing?
Yeah, the female.
And she's asking, what's his name?
Lieutenant Colonel Vasquez, Enrique Vasquez.
So were you allowed to roam freely after that once you got back to the base? Is that what she's trying to establish?
No, she's asking essentially what, like, he scheduled me a TTM, team treatment meeting, which is a meeting of your mental health provider, the commander, the first sergeant, and they're to discuss,
if that's necessary, why aren't you taking him straight to that, right?
Right. And, oh yeah, so I didn't even say, I was on my way. So this is how they arrested me. I was going to base for that meeting, And then that whole meeting was a ploy. It was a complete conspiracy to set me up to have me arrested at the gate and then bring me to confinement. So he's definitely abusing his authority on that.
So they lied to you that you were
yeah.
there for I guess a mental health meeting
Right.
when it was really okay. All right. Where are we now on the
So, oh
documents?
wow. So like we could have a whole 3-hour discussion on the martial alone, alone. So me jumping all over the place like this,
Yeah.
I mean, it's necessary to be laconic here, but like I just want you to know there's like 6 people that testify that all complete lies across the board. So after the court martial, I was acquitted of all charges. Lo and behold, I'm brought back to that same squadron and under that same squadron commander. My first sergeant now, it's always first. This so many first sergeants get swapped throughout this, but my first sergeant now tells me that the group commander, which is Colonel Barry Rose, and the wing commander, Colonel Jeremy Bergen, he literally name drops them and tells me that they want me to go back to my squadron under my own career field so I don't feel reprised and retaliated against. So it's like not even sensible at this point. Does that make any sense at all?
They want you to just act like everything's fine now?
Right.
Or-
Oh, yeah. And I have a little recording on that. This one's a minute. This is a Collins.
That actually plays out. All right. So now, also the flip side of it is that we did reach out to see if there's any alternate relocation for you to work. And we actually had a meeting with Colonel Rhodes earlier this week, and we sat down and talked about it, including talked with CDE as well. We had mental health there. We had the lead JAG, Colonel McGarvey was there as well, to kind of discuss that. And long story short, Colonel Roach and Colonel Bergen both decided for you to come back to the squadron. Now, again, I would say continue to work with Captain.
All right, that's the good on that. So there we go.
So how are you feeling about that? Like, are you like, hey, my life's getting back to normal? Or
No.
where are you now mentally here?
Yeah, it's to be continued. I knew that this would start happening. The day I won my court martial, I told my fiance, I was like, I need to now be reporting absolutely everything just in case it ever goes to a second court martial, which I never thought it would go to, but it did.
So just to be clear here, because we kind of glossed over this in your court martial, what was the specific charge, and then was it like a full acquittal? What
Yes.
exactly was determined by that court martial? 7 charges that we went through that we were stunned by. You were acquitted of all of them.
Every single one down.
So all right. So now, I guess is SOP, standard operating procedure. When that happens, now are you back in the good graces? Do you get the ranks? No, I mean
No, absolutely
okay.
not. Yeah, which is what was supposed to happen. I get promises from the first sergeant saying there's no ill feelings, there's no ill will feelings from anybody. He says I have a clean slate. He says there's no harm, no foul. Like what? There's tons of harm and foul.
So how did a second court martial come about?
Oh my gosh. I don't even know. So you just want to jump straight to
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought so. Where are we in the story then? Okay, so you win the first court martial. What happens next?
Okay, so I just found this out. If you pull up 16, this is how I don't even know a word more egregious than egregious, actually. So if you pull up 16, I just found this out a couple months ago. This was from my first court martial. And this is criminal action right here. Absolute criminal action. So these are my dispositions from the trial. Because I got denied what's it called? Bexar County. I got denied with a job that I was applying for, correctional officer. If you scroll down, it shows my dispositions in blue from the first trial. Okay, and it shows not criminally prosecuted on 4 of them, and for the assault charges, it says charges withdrawn and dismissed. Now, why that is extremely inaccurate is because I was acquitted. Those should say full acquittals or whatever.
Yeah.
But this shows the employer.
So the judge makes a ruling. You're acquitted on all 7 charges, but when the paperwork gets filed, it doesn't say that you're acquitted. It just says that, you know what? We decided not to take it to trial.
Yeah, not criminally prosecuted. Exactly. Means they didn't take it to trial, and they prosecution dropped it, and then charges and withdrawn and dismissed shows it was brought, and then they dropped it mid-trial or something.
And
Which
you
to show
had no idea that they had lied on this paperwork until you went to get a job a couple of months ago, and this came back on the background check at that job.
exactly from the FBI CJIS division at the very top. It shows it. Yeah, this is heinous because guess whose responsibility it is to submit accurate dispositions? It's the SJA team, of which I'm sure they have recommendations from the command. Like, what this was purposeful. This was malicious because if it wasn't, it should be down
Because
the
they
board.
knew at some point in the future this would come back to bite you. And here we are.
Right. And like I'm still putting all the pieces together because my security clearance after the first trial never gets reinstated, and they said it's due to my mental health account or treatment at the LRTC facility in San Antonio, which is a lie. I looked that up. They can't revoke your security clearance off of, going to an outpatient facility. Yeah, so this is a lot of corruption. A lot.
What file is the next one you would like me to open, sir?
Okay. Yeah. So, so,
All right.
oh my gosh, yeah, this is just nuts. So I need to set this up. So now I go to Laurel Ridge Treatment Center in San Antonio, Texas, which I have the recommendations of my command. Like I'm put back in the same squadron, by the way, with my same commander, who I have 3 meetings with, and his discontent for the judge's verdict is apparent. I actually want to play that. So now I'm at Laurel Ridge, and the therapist and I, it was an 11-week outpatient process. She and I decided to secretly record this now TTM with Vasquez. Again, like this Vasquez character. Let's see here. And I want your reaction on what you think of this real fast. You have any questions so far, actually?
No. So you were forced to go through this 11-week treatment. Is that right?
I was volunteer, and I volunteered for it.
Okay. And your therapist is suggesting you record a conversation with this commanding officer, Vasquez.
Yeah, that she's about to have with him.
Oh, she's having it with him. Oh, I got you. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm in the room too, so it's not a secret.
Okay.
But here, check this out real fast. And at this point, my record of trial from my first trial has not been released yet. So the audios, anything has not been released. And this is 3 months after the trial now. 3 months after the trial, you got a glimpse of what my commander sounds like on the stand. He was like, "Oh, I don't know. It was a done deal. I don't recall." Like a lot of I don't knows, right? So now look how confident he is when he's speaking with the.
Yeah, no, and I understand that, sir. But with all due respect, I mean, I think the situation is kind of different. Castle is kind of a different circumstance, considering that, he was put under investigation, or if I'm not understanding, was by you, one of and he has to work directly under you, and that creates this kind of dynamic. Unless this is, I mean, have other service members gone through this? No? Yeah.
I mean, I understand that, right? But that is the consequences of the decisions that he made, right? I understand that during his court-martial, he was found not guilty, right? But what the judge decided, her reasoning, that is nowhere, I don't know what was her reasoning. It could have been, hey, Castle deserves another opportunity. So, hey, maybe that's what she said, he's not guilty. I don't know, right? Like, there's no records. We do not get access to anything, any of the reasoning that the judge had. The reason why he's in the position that he's at is based on the consequences of his decisions, right? So, and then there's a mental health piece to it, right? Like this whole treatment piece that he's.
Yeah, so that's about that. And that's like a hour and 30-minute conversation that I just showed 2 minutes of. So you can imagine what happens in that conversation.
So you're still being punished by the system, even though you're found not guilty.
And I got like exculpatory evidence like this that I'm being reprised against due to him admitting to my therapist that I should not have been, or he's implying I should not have been found not guilty because he's saying we got no documents. But now that the audio is released from the first court, it shows all of his contradictions, which are lies. Like this guy is trying to, and he says I'm a manipulative with no credibility, when really he's the one who's trying to manipulate everybody with zero credibility. That's why I call him sanctimonious. later on and get charged for that, actually.
No. Okay. So where are we at on the
Yeah.
documents?
So before we move on to the final chapter here, so above Vasquez, his boss is Roche, who I already brought up, Barry Roche. We also have a TTM with him the month after, and it's even worse. It's even worse because in this meeting, he has his SEL, which is a senior enlisted leader, Chief Jessica Baldwin, who becomes my supervisor, like around March of 2024. When it was declared in the court martial that my supervisor was changed from Carrie, right? Like it's all lies and it's all provable. So yeah, I'm gonna play this one, and it's probably one of the last recordings. But this one's with Colonel Roche, and again, I'm asking him questions about or they're asking me questions like, "What's the plan when I come back from this Laurel Ridge treatment and go back to the squadron again? What is the plan?" You know, and I want to get your 2 cents on this once you hear this real fast. Okay. Okay, 7:48. Yeah, so I'm about to. I can see this is how long it can get. You know, it's so hard to explain this in like 10 minutes if I had to.
I understand.
Yeah.
You lived a hell for what? How many years? Several years. So, and
Yeah.
trying to condense it into a story may not be the easiest assignment here.
All right, here it is right here. It says, oh yeah, sorry. It's Colonel Roche, the group commander, who's in charge of the squadron commander Vasquez, and his my supervisor, who's gonna actually now be my supervisor, Chief Baldwin, who's his like assistant. Yeah.
Remote work.
Let me jump around.
Well, because of his history of confinement and how that went too. So I can understand that as well.
So looking outside of the mission support group was the primary focus just because of any of your actions. Not had a great interaction prior to.
So we got the Chief Baldwin stating that
they're
I'm going to
still
be
punishing you for not taking the COVID vax.
Yes.
I mean, they're essentially saying we still can't have him around other people, and
Exactly.
Okay.
And then I asked Roche about the active shooter stuff, and you're not gonna believe his answer on this. And this is the last part right here.
Again, for those that may be just joining us, when the COVID, when the refusal to take the COVID vax started to turn against Lance's commanders, then they made up these charges that you are a anti-government threat, active shooter possibility, and then you got this audio here.
I think my PIF and another separate supervisor, Dexter in Cleveland, wrote that it's been stated to her that I've been targeting members within my squadron that have been in communication with leadership or have crossed me. So they're pretty much trying to paint this picture that I'm like essentially out to kill people now. And this was a couple of days before they was arrested and detained for 3 months in jail. Were you aware of any of that, Colonel Roche?
But a lot of it, right? And I'll say that there is a lot of paperwork, right? What I'm focused on.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. There's a lot of paperwork.
You're right.
And he apparently isn't taking the fact that you were possible active shooter seriously enough to even be told that or care about that or what?
Because he's complicit from the first trial. Vasquez pretty much had to have his permission on paperwork to go with the charges, and he signed it. Like they all signed it, up to the wing commander at the time before.
But that's a lot of paperwork, Lance. I can't. Maybe you're an active shooter possibility. Maybe you're God, I don't know. Details. Okay.
His answer, one of his answers was, I said, are you aware of any of that? He said, not all of it, or not all of it, but, or sorry, not, what are you, I wrote it down. Aware of not a lot of it, but some of it, or something like that.
Yeah. And you think that would stick out? Oh yeah, Lance is the guy we thought might shoot up the place. Yeah, you might remember his name and might remember that charge. Okay.
Right. And then
what happened then?
Let me see.
Absolutely, sir.
Multiple people, and I know the one thing that I am tracking for whatever reason, and it could be right or wrong, is that you failed to show up to work for an extended period of time, or you were at work but not at work, if that makes sense.
Yep.
And so again, that could all have been for the absolute right reason. But
hold on. You can pull that audio down just a little bit when you're playing it. But my question is, were you not? Is he referencing when you were told to take leave or stay at home, or?
So there is this time that I stopped coming to my duty location because I'm aware of everything that's happening, the hostile work environment. I didn't mention their text messages were subpoenaed for the trial, and it showed they were making me they're trying to have me go to all these meetings with Carrie, who I explicitly stated I cannot be around due to my blood pressure being around 180 around him, and he's just lying through complete lying. They're setting me up for more paperwork. Captain Lawrence admits on the stand that he didn't find any of my diagnoses real, or he thought I was exaggerating and being hyperbolic. Yeah, so just tons of contradictions like that. So he's referring to me not being at my duty location when I was at the chaplain, stuff like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. When I wasn't, because of the hostile work environment that they were doing, like literally declaring me an active shooter inside. Like, what? Like, I don't know what was going to happen if I did go to my duty location. But anyway, the judge was the one who had purview of all this, right? And she declared me not guilty due to the whole investigation that she did behind the scenes, also in her chambers. But the thing is, this is 3 months. This audio is 3 months after my trial. And like, you just hear him. He's like, you have a lot of paperwork. There's a lot of things that weren't considered in the court martial. Like, yeah, that is not a clean slate that I was promised. And with the job position that I was promised to be moved to squadrons to the ops group, of which ends up being denied when I go back to my squadron. So yeah, we're in January, February 2024, and that becomes denied. That job position that they promised me in the audio here, that's all on my YouTube channel. That, like, it was a lie. I think it was to set me up again for them to have, access to me, I guess. And yeah, it gets crazy from there. That's everything I just explained was pretty much chapter 1.
And so in that timeline, that's where your commander denies your your informal Article 138 complaint, redress for proceedings. Well, explain to those of us not in the military, what's that process supposed to be?
Yeah, so Article 138 complaint, as you submitting a complaint legally, like a legal complaint on your commander for established wrongs, grievances that you have, and in there you're telling
the process for you to go up the chain, right? To look for, okay.
Yep, and in that Article 138, oh man, I lay into them bad. I say that Roche could have done something about it. He did nothing about it. I put all of my concerns in there, including the audio that I just played, and Vasquez denies it. Illegally denies it. Yeah. And he
denies what?
Article 138 complaint, which is fine because I could progress it up the chain, which I do. And then the next person denies it, which is General Conley of AFSOC, Lieutenant General Michael Conley. Like, did he even read it? I doubt it. Oh my gosh. And so it's just stuck right there, and then I got to redo an IG complaint. This is, Yeah, until I finally get somebody like the Undersecretary of the Air Force, which is Matthew Lomer, or the Undersecretary of Defense, Anthony Tata, who I emailed him and all my stuff and all my complaints, and they haven't even responded back yet. I've emailed them too. Until someone like that, messaged me back like, hey, what's going on with all this stuff? And like, there's just no one wants to look into it. I don't understand.
So while this is happening, after you're getting rejected with your Article 138 complaint, this is when you go to social media, and then what happens?
This is when my subtraction video starts to become public because I sent it to Mark Masha, and he posted it. Yeah, and that got 6.4 million views. Until this date, they're still posting.
Right. How did I miss this until December of 2025? All right, so we're in April of 2024, and so did you? Is that your first, I guess, foray into social media around all of what's happening here? Is the post of that video of you? Who recorded that video, and were they on your side? How did you get a hold of that?
So it's AFI, Air Force instruction, for it to be recorded. So if they didn't record it, it would have been unlawful. Like in their regulations, it states that another security force member has to record the whole thing. So he was one of them, obviously.
How did they get into your possession?
Yeah, and I got it from the trial. I got all the evidence from trial.
Okay.
And I looked at everything, and it was in a CD.
All right, and I know at some point along here, you're starting to be referred to as a Nazi. I mean, what is happening here?
Insider threat, not Nazi specifically, but insider threat. It continues. Insider threat.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought I saw something in your notes. I must have misread it then. Okay. So then what happens? Because I know there's another court martial coming up here for you.
I'm gonna be real concise now. So fast forward to to the end of May. Colonel Jeremy Bergen now issues a CDE for the first time, which is a commander directed evaluation, which is a mental health 9-hour interview, and you're doing tests and all this stuff to determine what are your diagnoses, like what are his diagnoses. And this should have been done long ago. Vasquez denied it constantly. He wanted me to write him a MFR stating that I wanted it. Like, I don't know why, but he didn't want, I don't know, he probably thought it was him retaliating towards me. But then the next intermittent commander after him, Major Abdulwali, Nalisha Abdulwali, she states that it was her that ordered the CD when really it was Bergen. So anyway, I get this mental health evaluation. I am now diagnosed officially with delusional disorder, and delusional disorder definition is for me to believe all these things happening to me that other people around me can completely see that it's fictitious. So that would be the equivalent of like, someone who believes it has spiders crawling all over them, and they're like this, and other people are like, dude, you don't have spiders. That's delusional. But I am diagnosed delusional because of my perceived persecutory type statements, like, dude, they're coming after me. And at this time too, Vasquez, again, he writes me a LOC for more crap. He says I missed 2 medical appointments, when again, completely fictitious. And like, no, I did not. But he's just writing more stuff again to create a paper trail, and I can see what's happening. So delusional disorder, IED, intermittent explosive disorder, which is fair, sure, and unspecified trauma stressor related disorder, which is equivalent to PTSD symptomatic wise, other than the onset. It doesn't matter. I have a phone call of this to the provider calling me and explaining it on my YouTube channel. I've written this in tons of emails, tons of complaints.
Give that YouTube channel Castle 490. Okay.
Yeah. So now I completely see what's going on there. These guys are setting me up to bring me to inpatient against my will and drug me out, because in my results they state that I need to be medicated for my delusional disorder. Oh my God, like everyone's so in on this, and we have the records from the trial, we have the audio recordings, like no one listens to any of this. Oh man, it's crazy. So
yeah, and in June of 2024, they accuse you of being AWOL.
Yeah. So now the new commander, Colonel Barry Roche, leaves. The new one is Stuart Churchill. This guy orders me. So first of all, everyone has ignored my CDE. You would think that delusional and IED and the other one, unspecified trauma.
And CDE stands for
Commander Directed Evaluation. So yeah, they all ignore it because I'm supposed to get a post TTM again from the conclusion of my results from the CDE. That never happens for a month and a half. It never happens. He orders me that he gives me new orders for work. You will report to work at 7 to 5, whatever, right? You get 1 hour lunch, but he does not account for anything of my diagnoses. I record the conversation and I ask him, "Sir, do you even know what my diagnoses are from the CDE?" And all he knew was IED. He's like, "I think IED." I was like, "Yeah, that's one," but he didn't know the rest. So now he's giving me unlawful orders because he has now shown me that he's not aware of my mental health diagnoses, like, I don't understand. So not only that, and then he orders me to no longer be able to video record or audio record on base unless I have his explicit permission.
And,
But how? I don't have
in
it.
that oh, you
Yeah.
have his number. But so that goes back to what we were discussing earlier, right? Where the state law applies there, but unless there's a specific order
Yeah.
preventing that.
Right. Of which he then admits on the stand that he thought I was recording and posting the thing to social media for my own protection. So it's not like I was doing it to be defiant or rebellious. Yeah, it's a lot of contradictions. So at this point, I'm like, I cannot go on a base anymore because I'm being set up to be rearrested or brought to inpatient. So I texted the wing commander, which are in the document, but we're running out of time. And I told him, "Sir, like, you guys are retaliating against me. I mean, there's no way I can go back to base unless my TTM happens, all that stuff." And he's in on it too. I'm telling you, like, this, like, I just keep going to their, oh man, it's like a criminal mastermind chain. So anyway, after 2 weeks, the cops come to my house, arrest me, of which I'm compliant. Thank goodness for that.
And when is this arrest?
Yeah, this is July 19th now of 2024.
Okay.
And I'm brought to a civilian jail in Portales, New Mexico for a month, over a month actually. I get abrupt stoppage of all my medications, blood pressure medications. I didn't even mention that in the first one. They completely abrupted my medications, or abrupt stopped my medications back then, like PTSD stuff as well, like Prozocin, my blood pressure medication, like lisinopril. You could die from that. That could be fatal if you just completely stopping someone's blood pressure medication, or at the very least make them feel, irritable, of which is why that cell extraction happened. Yeah. Well, what I didn't even, like, I'm going back to that now, but that cell extraction, they stated that it was to shock me into compliance. So that was how it was deemed unlawful. You can't do a cell extraction to shock someone into compliance, But they stated in the paperwork it was all from me being non-compliant, flipping my furniture, the bed around and stuff like that. So fast forwarding back to where we're at now, I'm in pretrial confinement once again for 8.5 months. No, not 66 days anymore.
In the county jail?
So a month and a half in there, and then they fly me to a military brig in South Carolina.
I guess I'm trying to figure this out. I don't understand how the local authorities get involved in this matter. Is that just the base knocking on their door and saying, "Hey, we don't want this guy around here. Can you put him in here for a while?" If this military brig is something, is this where are we at? Monk's Corner, South Carolina? Is that
Charleston, South Carolina? I get flown back to.
You still live right near there, so go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, I get flown back for my arraignment, 1-day arraignment from my new judge. Man, this guy, Major Nathan Royer, he's now Lieutenant Colonel. The Colonel Jeremy Bergen, the wing commander, he's now been promoted to Brigadier General. Like, everyone's being promoted left and right for their heinous crimes. So this guy lacks complete due diligence, the judge, in my arraignment. And I'm still to this day sorting and transcribing and reviewing because, believe it or not, there's errors in the transcribe. And here's a quick example. The wing commander states on trial that my mental health provider was threatened by me. But in the transcribe, it says something completely different. It says it doesn't even make sense. It's like he felt the right counsel to. Instead of it saying his mental health provider was threatened by him, it says, whatever I just said, he felt the right to counsel to. Like, doesn't even make sense. So I don't know what the heck's happening with that.
It seems like a constant thing where paperwork doesn't match up with reality. Yeah. All right. So you're in the brig there in Charleston. How long were you there awaiting trial?
I was there from September to end of March in total.
So you're now incarcerated here for what, 6-7 months now. And we get to March of 2025. Now, surely at some point, you've got to think, hey, Donald Trump just got reelected. Surely this is going to end. It's going to it's going to all it's going to end well for you, right? Okay, so but we're at March 2025, and this is your second court-martial time. Had you anticipated some sort of reprieve by now?
Absolutely.
And, okay, so now you're headed back to court. This is over the AWOL stuff. And I guess in April of 25, the ruling comes down, and what happens?
Yeah. Well, can we pull up real fast number this is what I get charged for. 21. Yeah. And this is so they charged me for the AWOL, like we just mentioned. But again, I couldn't go on base due to them setting me up. And there's even documents of them saying we looked into inpatient for him when I definitely didn't want to be an inpatient. And if we scroll down to page 4, if you'd like to read number 4, I think your viewers would like this.
Okay. On June 3rd, 2024, who's speaking here? And
me. This is me. This is my Article 130 complaint on this guy. That's Church over there. And the reason why his name popped up or his picture popped up is because I provided the link to this conversation, and then that's the thumbnail to it, because in trial, these prosecutors say that I literally pasted a copy of his face on there, but it was just from the link.
It's just a thumbnail. Okay.
Yeah.
And all right. And CDE stands for?
Commander Directed Evaluation. Actually, before we hit number 4, can we go to number 3? That sets it up real fast.
Okay. Number 3. How far up is that?
Yeah. Keep going up. Keep going up. Up.
My goodness. What are we looking at here?
Yeah. Don't worry about any of that. No, that's not it. Right there.
Can you read this paragraph here?
Yeah, this is what I'm recharged for right here.
Okay, so you tell me when to stop. On various dates ranging from May 26, 2024 to present day, I have either copied you in an email to higher leadership or emailed you personally with higher leadership copied as well. On June 13th, 2024, is at Charleston Air Force Base, Wing Commander... Cannon, New Mexico. Air Force Base Wing Commander Colonel Jeremy Bergen schedules a last-minute secret TTM for the next day, secret due to my ADC not having knowledge of it, with many demonic complicit leaders in attendance. All right, so you're labeling them demonic there, I see. This TTM, from my knowledge, includes the reprehensible Colonel Churchill, the negligent past duty Wing Commander Colonel Greer, other disgraceful commanders, such as the incompetent and inexperienced Captain Abdulai, the atrocious and utterly deceitful flight commander from Cannon Air Force Base, mental health Major Wiley, Major Oldman, the timid and unlawful group. You have nicknames for everyone. It's almost like Donald Trump here. Timid and unlawful group SEL, Staff Master Sergeant Hunt. I don't know these words, bro. Vainglorious. I got to start mixing that in. And disrespectful group Chief Commander or Chief Master Sergeant Marburg, the highly dishonorable and ignominious First Sergeant Ike. Thank you. Okay. And lastly, the trustworthy as of now, FSS First Sergeant Calhoun. From
so I get charged with that with some of those adjectives there. The one that says other commanders such as incompetent and experienced Captain Abdulali, I get found not guilty on that for some reason. I think it's because she showed her incompetence on the trial, on her testimony. And again, we could do a full podcast on their testimonies. Like, these guys are going to be in big trouble because they literally perjured themselves on the stand. And then we go to number 4, and this is also what I was charged with, disrespect.
All right. On June 3rd, 2024, I was told of my CDE results over the phone, and the physical CDE results were later released to me. Major Wiley and Major Oldham were in that secret TTM scheduled by Colonel Jeremy Bergen that Colonel Churchill was in attendance for. With mental health present, every leader had all of my CDE findings readily available if discussed. If it was discussed, the prideful Colonel Churchill is the epitome of failed leadership. If it was not discussed, the pompous Colonel Churchill is, again, the epitome of failed leadership. Did you want me to keep reading here? It is an absolute disgraceful and total failure of Cannon Air Force Base Command via the nefarious and extremely corrupt Wing Commander Colonel Bergen, all of his sycophantic minions that call themselves leaders, when in reality they are on the opposite end of the spectrum. And one of the biggest wastes of taxpayers' money is funding these vile, disturbed, highly corrupt, arbitrary, capricious, sanctimonious, lawless criminals. So hang on now. As I'm reading this, if this is handed into neutral hands and they see the way that you're describing your superiors, that doesn't seem to really help your case, Lance. I just wonder if maybe emptying the thesaurus into this wasn't your best move. No?
Yeah, it probably wasn't, because I was convicted of that disrespect. Currently, if my appeal overturns it, sure, but you got to weigh in the context and all the history that, like, I'm fed up at this point.
I understand that, and I understand. Like, for example, I am stunned by the restraint. So many people in similar positions as you. I mean, this is very unique, especially for a conversation on this program. But I see so many honorable people that are treated so poorly by the system and by our government, and I say to myself, as I'm reading about them and watching interviews with them and talking to them, I'm thinking to myself, holy crap, I would not be able to restrain myself. And I would probably react in a very similar way that you did here, if not more so, if not more vociferously. See, we're going to mix in some more big words here. But concern for you being in the military and seeing this, I feel like... in hindsight, and this is just me, and maybe you can tell me, do you regret some of the wording here and kind of compounding what you were already up against to begin with?
Keyword was hindsight there, of course. Like, I wrote this at 2 a.m, like things were hitting the fan. Again, I'm diagnosed. They're treating the system, diagnosed with delusional disorder. Like, what the? And I'm not even being accommodated for my delusional disorder. So I could have been more tactful and test peace.
I'm not in your shoes. I'm not judging you. And like I said, I would probably even react more over the top. So I guess my question is, what did they find you guilty of in April of 2025? We're now well into the Trump administration, and you're still going through the process. What did they find you guilty on specifically?
We could pull it up. 22 shows it all. I have literally nothing to hide here. Okay. Yeah. So to answer your question, I do not regret it. I don't, because it's true, first of all. And not only, so that was before, I wrote that before they heavily perjured themselves on the stand for the second trial. So like, this is, I literally prove what they're acting like, like lies across the board. And they're lies because they can't keep their story straight. And only I can understand like the level of sophistication that they've brought onto themselves with their testimony. And this is why we're going to stay in the same process.
So how many charges are in this document that I'm scrolling through that was the judgment came down in April 2025? 4 charges. Okay. So I just quickly scrolled through the first 3 and I saw not guilty on all of them, correct? No, that was your plea. I'm sorry. That was your plea. All right. Yeah. So
and I was hoping the judge would have found me for it to have been extenuating. Okay, like let's say I called him all that, and then it was found out, this is a hypothetical, and it was found out that the one commander killed my freaking mom or something. Okay, am I still going to be convicted of calling him completely incompetent and utterly corrupt if it was found out that he killed my mom? Probably not. And again, that's what I'm talking about. Like, I'm using a drastic situation here.
I understand. So you're thinking that showing their incompetence or distortion of the facts and I guess record keeping might exonerate you at some point, because I'm seeing here that the plea, the column, not guilty but found guilty, it's across the board, huh?
Well, this is Judge Royer, and again, there are different judges. There's different police officers. There's good cops, there's bad cops, right? There's good people, there's bad people. There's high integrity people, high or not high. This judge is bad. This is bad. I'm dedicate 2026 to prove this. I have all the evidence within the testimonies, within everything within my record of trial. Like, he lacked due diligence. I wrote him a DOD-IG complaint before my trial. I wrote him a cease and desist. My own judge. Nobody does that. And I asked my civilian defense attorney, Dan Conway, in all your 20 years, have you ever heard of anyone doing that? He's like, no, you're the first. So in 20 years, he's never had a freaking defendant write a judge a complaint before his trial. So the fact that I did that could show the perception of Judge Royer having a bias towards me. It's called judicial bias. And the answer is yes. He should have recused himself, which he did not.
And why were you move to write him before the trial?
Because he condoned the unlawful pretrial confinement for 8.5 months. He should have released me like the first judge had.
And recused himself.
Yeah. But he didn't, because he didn't look into any of the facts. He even admitted that he hasn't reviewed anything before their arraignment on September 2023. Sorry, 2023, September.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I messed up again. September 23, 2024. He even admitted that he hasn't reviewed any of the facts. So yeah, that's why. And it's a very detailed IG complaint. Here we'll see this, the green pretty much are the people and my
I see that they picked up on the same words that I picked up on, huh?
There you go.
Yeah, I see. That's
it is what it is. That was March. My appeal process is still going. It's like a 2 to 3 year appeal process.
Well, before you get to the appeal, I want to point out that, and correct me if I'm wrong, it looks like you lost your military benefits, including your VA eligibility. And I mean, your retirement, all that stuff, I mean, out the window, huh? I mean, because you got
was already out the window from the first trial, because I have to, you have to hit 20 years. I haven't even hit 20.
I see. Yeah. Okay. So that was in April. And then what happened was you went to apply for that job and you saw that they didn't properly list you as being found not guilty at the first court martial. So where does everything stand now, bro?
Yeah, so that's where we left off at, to be continued. My appeal attorney has still not reviewed my record of trial. I had 2 appeal attorneys. I fired both recently. I fired both due to one civilian attorney not wanting to touch IAC claims, which is ineffective assistance of counsel claims, on my civilian attorney who he works for. So I have to fire him and have all the evidence of that. And then I fired my military one due to her not even knowing what a RCM 917 motion is, which is lack of evidence. From my first trial, I explained those dispositions to her, and she was like, well, they can do that. And I called in, she was completely wrong, because I called another civilian attorney, Don King, and he's like, that's completely wrong. So her name's Captain Stanford Olga, and I looked at her Facebook. She literally has a post also that's like, hey, girlfriends, let's all vote Trump out. We can't have this guy reelected ever again. Like, it was like, she's very political in that sense. But anyway,
Yeah. So you still have a fight ahead of you. That's clear. And again, this all started because, correct me if I'm wrong, as we established at the early part of the program, your military career was going along just fine. You had the one blemish that really wasn't, it was you, doing a favor for a commanding officer, right? Someone that you answered to on changing a PT score. Other than that, it was clean 17, 19 years of service, right? And then the COVID vax comes along, you refuse to get it. And then before you know it, your world is rocked and everything spirals out of control to the point where you're now dishonorably discharged and found guilty at a court martial for this disrespect stuff. And here we are now. So, and then with that document that was uncovered on that background check by that employer, it shows that they probably did live up to a lot of those adjectives that you put in that paperwork. So, I guess what's next for you now? I mean, if you're not, you're technically still enlisted, yes? Or no,
well, I am. I'm on the affiliate leave, which is still active duty, and I'm still subject to the UCMJ.
So even though you were dishonorably discharged, I don't understand how
that it's pending. It's a back
because you're pushing back on it. I got it. Okay.
Right. Because I'm going through the appeals process. So even though it's pending, like I'm not, it's a non-pay status. So I'm on affiliate leave, which is a non-pay status, which is why I'm trying to find a job. But it's hard to with that freaking false background check.
Yeah.
And not just that. That false background check is like falsified information. That's a huge crime.
Right. And if the dishonorable discharge remains intact after appeals, that will also show up on your background check, correct?
Right. Of course. Yeah, of course. I'm rolling the dice here. I can't play it safe. I'm going all in. But how can my appeals be denied when I have concrete exculpatory evidence like perjury at this point of multiple commanders, literal perjury and tampering with evidence and falsified claims and documents? Like, it's so much more egregious than what even we've discussed. Like there's a lot, and I lose through the details.
You lose what?
I lose people through the details, and it's hard to
I understand.
Yeah.
Well, do this for me. Keep us updated and make sure that everyone knows your YouTube channel again. You said it's Lance Castle 409 what was it?
490. Yeah, 490.
Lance Castle 490. That's where you post your updates. And make sure you post those on Twitter as well. For nothing more, just a selfish request because I hang out there more than anywhere. Man, I wish you the best, and I'm so sorry that this whole thing spiraled because you made the choice that you didn't want this experimental drug injected into your body, and they have made your life a living hell ever since. So do keep us updated. Again, thank you for your service. I'm sorry that this is happening to you, and I do hope that somehow, some way, things work out better than they seem to be going right now. The trajectory not looking good, huh?
Yeah. No, trajectory looks great, actually. Like all the evidence I have will be.
You just need to get it heard.
Yeah, and that's gonna come with time because appeal brief is set for June. The whole system's backed up 2 years. It's a ridiculous. But if I win my appeal, I get back paid for the last 2 years. I get my rank back. I get it's like a home run, And that's what I'm.
You have any interest in getting back in the Air Force if this thing gets resolved in your favor?
No way. I'll be 21 years at that point, actually. But I plan on suing so many people involved in this via joinder civil lawsuit. And this is my new fight. Like I even have aspirations of wanting to at least go to law school, with how much work I've done on my own case. Like I'm learning way more things I've ever known pertaining to law and court-martial stuff. So it's very interesting. And if it never happened to me, I would never have wanted to do this. So in a way, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for this. I get to go on shows like yours and explain the corruption of everyone. I have zero fear about any of this stuff if they kill me due to this, because not just ranks and careers are going to be ruined. Like my minimum goal for them is to be court-martialed, and that's coming. And when they're court-martialed, and if the day ever comes where they're actually sentenced to jail, what a day accountability has had. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I wish you the best. We all do. And like you saw there, Sandra echoes my sentiments. We'll keep you on our prayers. Lance Castle, thank you so much for making time today. Please do keep us updated. Okay, sir?
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me, sir.
Absolutely. And thank you all for joining us here on At the Mic. We will see you all 22 hours from now on the Friday live stream. Like I said, full house, whole gang will be here, and we'll see you then here live at 3 p.m. Eastern on X. Until then, please be safe, everybody. God bless.